Nothing is evil in the beginning. And there was a time when the world was so young.
Rings of Power Episode 2 Review. We begin with a forgettable opening theme and music that then moves to Galadriel contemplating her life choices and begins her swim of the sundering seas. Then to Nori and Meteorite Man. She ignores her friend to leave him alone and wakes him up. He uses some magic and passes out. Nori then decides to help Meteor Man, who seems to be a wizard, as she believes that this is her chance to be something more than just a Harfoot. To Ariandira and Bronwyn as they search the destroyed village and find that there is no bodies of the people who live there. They notice the ground has cracked like an earthquake and find a tunnel which Ariandira decides would be a good idea to jump into to find out where it leads, instead of once again informing the other elves, but does tell Bronwyn to go warn her people. We move to Elrond and Celebrimbor and Eregion, who wishes to craft items on par with the Silmarils, but needs a new forge in a short period of time to make, to which Elrond suggests they get help from the dwarves, meaning that Gil-galad sent Elrond there because of his connection to them. Then there is a jump from Eregion to Khazad-dûm, home of the dwarves, who refuse entry to Elrond, who then invokes the right of...
I invoke the right of Sigyn Tarag.
We get a few shots of Khazad-dûm that look good in its heyday as Elrond enters. Elrond is then taken to the rock breaking contest against his friend Prince Durin. If he wins, he gets one boon. If he loses, he is banished to never return. Back to Nori as she goes to see the wizard and tries to communicate with him. He draws out a star sign to find out if Nori knows it. The Banshee is using breaks, and Nori's father breaks his ankle at the same time to make you believe he is responsible. Cut to Galadriel taking a swim as she coincidentally finds a raft in the middle of the sea, who are reluctant to let her on, but eventually do, to question how she got there and find out if her ship had also been attacked by the worm that destroyed theirs. They make a big fuss about her being an elf. You can only tell by the ears that she is one.
Looks can be deceiving.
The worm comes back and Galadriel is pushed from the raft as they blame her for bringing the worm to them. Yet one man detaches part of the raft as the worm destroys the rest. The worm leaves and the man on the raft picks up Galadriel and says he is called Halbrand. Elrond loses the rock breaking competition and is banished, but asks that Durin leads him out. Elrond says he has a proposal for Durin, but wonders if he has offended his friend in some way, to which Durin tells him that he's not been there for 20 years and missed so much of his life and has only returned to take advantage of him, to which Elrond denies and congratulates his friend on the life he has now. Elrond then meets Durin's wife, Disa, who invites him to dinner. She then helps fix their friendship, and Durin is willing to listen to Elrond's proposal. Galadriel and Halbrand are drifting on a raft as they both are trying to find out more about each other, and Galadriel asks about the mark around Halbrand's neck. He then says the magic word, orcs, to which Galadriel once again shows that she has one note on revenge, promising him his homeland and an army to retake it if he just tell her where they are. He replies the Southlands, but refuses to go there with her. Bronwyn goes to warn her village that don't believe her. It then moves to her son that rages at what he thinks are some mice and smashes the floor. He then looks in the hole and a large eye looks back. Ariandira is moving in the tunnels by himself to investigate where they go and who made them until he's attacked and captured without a fight. Bronwyn rushes back to her house to find inside there is a large hole and her son hiding, who tells her to get help before the monster comes back, to which she hides in the closet. An orc comes out of the hole and finds her in the closet. Her son comes out to help her fight the orc. They kill it and present its head to the villagers to show the threat is real. Galadriel and Halbrand are in a storm and barely hanging on to the raft. Galadriel decides to tie herself to the raft and a bolt of lightning hits, which throws herself off and part of the raft she tied herself to that then drags her down until Halbrand saves her life. Back to the Harfoots again, and the wizard shows them the constellation from before, but this time with fireflies, which he ends up killing to make you think he may be evil, even though they were eating snails perfectly fine, not caring about it 5 seconds ago. Cut to Durin and his father, the king, as they talk about Elrond and why he is there, and if he knows what is in their mystery box. Then to Bronwyn's son, as he gets ready to leave to the watchtower with the rest of the humans. He pulls out the sword hilt with the mark of Sauron, which starts to suck his blood to create a blade. He puts the magical mystery box vampire sword away and then joins the rest of the humans. Finally, a shot of a man on a ship looking down on the raft Galadriel and Halbrand are on. So, that was episode 2, another boring episode with some bad dialogue and scenes that made no real sense at times. It made you wonder, what are they talking about and what is going on? Had a lot of jumping around between characters with not enough time to gain any attachment to them, and some poor direction in which shots were put together to make the timing of events seem strange. For example, Elrond travels from Lindon to Eregion to then Khazad-dûm in seemingly the same time it takes Bronwyn to travel to a village in one day. Galadriel once again shows herself to only care about revenge and willing to say anything to get it, with them dropping hints that Halbrand will be a major character later on in the series. Durin seems weak and childish at times. I did like his father though, for the short time he was seen, and some of the shots of Khazad-dûm looked good. The worm was interesting for the brief time it was seen, and lucky for them it was not something like the Watcher. As for Ariandir, he was just stupid. Why jump in the hole without informing the other elves? You also cannot use your bow, which is your best weapon down there. The Harfoot scenes are boring, and you can tell they want the wizard to be mysterious, for you to think, is he good or bad? Is he Sauron? So far, nothing of note, but we will see if it picks up in the next episode.